Remember watching And One mixtapes and thinking, how sick would that be in the league? Yes, I know, Rafer Alston made it, but the problem with most of those guys, they can't play actual team basketball. That's what makes NBA players with handles so awesome. They can do it all. In this video, we're ranking the top 5 and bottom 5 handles in the league. Now, the bottom 5 needs a few rules here. We gotta pick guys who actually handle the ball once in a while. So, that means, I know, no Boban Marjanovich. We want more Boban, but he's too easy to pick on. I'm talking about guys who probably play one of the guard positions who you are legit nervous about putting the ball on the floor. No one is that bad, it is the NBA, but for league standards, we can say who sucks. Hey, it's Casey. It is the end of another week on AM Hoops, which means a top 5, bottom 5 Friday. Let me know in the comments what you want to see in the future for top 5, bottom 5, and hit subscribe for 5 videos per week, Monday through Friday, always dropping at 5 Eastern. Top 5, number 5, Ja Morant. His signature moves, the cross jab, and change of speed. Ja came into the league and immediately became one of the best ball handlers in the NBA. He's such a threat because combined with athleticism, he can basically get by anyone. Ja has moves you can't teach because they don't have names. He improvises with the ball, so of course his defender is shook. He doesn't know what's coming next half the time. Some moves do have a name, of course, like the fake, behind the back, the crossover. The only reason Ja isn't higher on this list is he's a rookie, and the guys in front of him have proven it for longer. But no matter who is guarding him, Ja's handles can win. Number 4, James Harden. Signature move, the between the legs cross and go. Some people talk trash about Harden for dribbling too much, but I am amazed by how much he begs good defenders to swipe at the ball so he can catch them off balance or use that crossover to go by them or step back. Look, I know a lot of people have James Harden higher on their handles list. He's only number 4 here on my list, but he is number 1 in scoring. Because in terms of handles, I think he really has that one move that he has absolutely mastered that he kills almost anyone with. Most of everything else is really footwork when you think about it. The step back is a signature, so is the Euro step. It's all about scoring, which is why I respect Harden's game so much. He is so good with that footwork, it looks like he's traveling half the time. Actually, fun fact, he only travels a third of the time. As far as handles go, he uses that one signature move to score and set up his teammates. Number 3, Trae Young. Signature moves, the nutmeg, and the drop between the legs crossover. Here's a guy whose team doesn't win all that much, but you could never blame that on Trae Young's offense. I am never yelling at the screen for Trae to pass the ball, because he does when the moment is right. Trae is in the league because of his offense, and his handles create an advantage on any given possession. His ball handling is so good, it's gotten him in trouble. I criticize Trae a lot on this channel for defense, but I never said he wasn't elite with the ball in his hands. For me, he is the 3rd best ball handler in the entire league. Number 2, Uncle Drew. His signature moves, the catch wrap, the shimmy spin, and the crossover, a million different kinds, any kind. Look, I know a lot of people have Kyrie at number 1, so this is gonna be a lot of defending why he is not the best ball handler in the league. Of course, Kyrie has sick handles, I am not arguing that. It's his best trait. But way too often, I see Kyrie's great handle not be able to get around guys. He settles for a lot of fadeaway jumpers. He usually makes them, which is great. But if he was the number 1 ball handler, some people say he is, wouldn't he be getting around all those guys? The other reason I don't have Kyrie higher on this list, he doesn't know when to stop. So many times I am yelling at the screen to pass the ball. To me, the best ball handlers in the league know when to use it. You don't always have to show us how great of a ball handler you are. The bottom line should always be winning games, not winning highlights. And the number 1 ball handler in the league, you know it, Steph Curry. Signature moves, the tempo hesitation, and the killer crossover. Steph's pregame routine is world famous and kids everywhere are copying him because of his ball handling. I think because of Steph's handle, in fact, and his popularity, the level of the game will be higher when all those kids reach the league. First off, he's got the best ability to change speeds and keep his dribble in the league. Instead of doing a bunch of flashy crossovers, Steph is efficient. He goes slow to fast and blows by. You'd think at some point the best handle in the league would use it too much and over dribble, right? No, Steph is the best, and it doesn't take away from his team. Guys like Harden or Kyrie don't always make their teammates better. Steph uses his superpowers for good. That makes him the best in the game. He's not doing this stuff for the highlight or for his stats. He's doing it to win the game. And after all, that is what separates those and one guys from actual NBA players, and Steph Curry is the best example of that on the planet. All right, before we get to the bottom 5 ball handlers in the NBA, let me know about the top 5. Who did I leave out? What do you disagree with down below in the comments? Yes, I did consider maybe a John Wall, but we aren't sure what he's gonna look like when he comes back. A CP3, or even a Nikola Jokic, because he is a big man with handles. But instead, I went with Ja, Harden, Trae, Kyrie, and Steph. To lead off the bottom 5, Zion Williamson. And immediately you're thinking, he should not be on this list. Zion doesn't handle the ball for New Orleans, and you're right. But he does handle the ball enough for it to be a factor in his game, and it is one of the things he needs to improve to round out his game. Zion is supposed to be the face of the league after LeBron retires. Whether you like it or not, Luka Doncic and Ja Morant are not who the league is pushing. The Disney NBA schedules came out. The Pelicans play 6 of 8 games on national TV. That is the Zion effect. This dude needs to improve his ball handling to be the superstar he's supposed to be. Think of the face of the NBA going back to the 70s. LeBron handles, Kobe handles, Michael handles, Magic too. Obviously, from a basketball standpoint, it would be amazing if Zion's game was even more versatile. But from a legacy standpoint, he needs to improve that handle. Number 4, Gordon Hayward. And again, I am kind of breaking the rules here with the bottom 5. We'll get to actual guards here with the bottom 3, I promise. But more, this is kind of props to Gordon Hayward than anything. I am so amazed that a guy with no signature moves is 3rd on the Celtics in drives per game. We know Kemba has great handles, can get around dudes. By the way, Jason Tatum has moves too. The next best driver to the basket is basic as Gordon Hayward. Here's what most of his ball handling consists of. Pick a hand, drive, keep separation with your body. That's it. No crossovers, no elite tempo, no behind the backs. He's just efficient. If anything, he is really great finishing at the rim. I mean, he'll change hands, take a ton of contact, but one thing he does not do is dazzle with the dribble, but that's actually really cool. Number 3, Joe Ingles. Technically, Ingles isn't a guard either, but he plays a little point guard for the Jazz when needed. He played point forward this year when their top 3 point guards were injured. Joe Ingles is the textbook example of an unathletic looking white guy who's actually so good he can start in the league. He can shoot, pass, and create out of the pick and roll. Anything that takes IQ and finesse, he's good at. Anything that takes athleticism and agility, no. No first step. He can't play above the rim. This is an actual quote from Joe Ingles this year. Quote, "I've got a receding hairline, I'm slow, and I'm probably not the most jacked up with abs and all that." Look, we said at the beginning of this video, none of these guys are bad basketball players. They're in the NBA, and we should actually give respect to guys like Joe Ingles with below average handles who can still control the game. Number 2, TOMAS SATORANSKY. All right, we're into the true point guards, and TOMAS SATORANSKY is the perfect example of a blah, vanilla point guard with no moves who cannot break down other players off the dribble. This really limits him from being that next level up point guard. He is an NBA point guard though because of his decision making and his passing vision, but dude is anything but a creative playmaker. There's no ISO game in TOMAS SATORANSKY, but he won't be the reason your team lost the game. But number 1, Patrick Beverley. And immediately someone in the comments says, but he won the 2015 Skills Challenge at All-Star Weekend. Well, I think you'll agree if you look at this video, it is anything but the kind of skills we're talking about here. Are you kidding me? Those are the skills. This thing has nothing to do with handles. In fact, look at Beverley here with no one guarding him.
As you can see, Beverley's lost the handle.
Yes, like everyone on our list, Pat Bev is a really good basketball player in reality, but he is a point guard who is an average ball handler. What he does well is playing off the ball, making open shots, playing defense. But every Clipper fan will tell you, the one thing that this team is really missing other than a big man is a true point guard slash ball handler. Pat Bev is the worst in the league of dudes who are supposed to handle the rock. Let me know what top 5, bottom 5 you want to see in the future. All video request priority, though, goes to our Patreon subscribers. They request a video, I will absolutely make it. Now, I want to reiterate about this list. I respect the hell out of all these guys because even the bottom 5, even though they can't handle, unlike those and one guys, they can play in the league. Support AM Hoops and click subscribe. Don't miss a daily NBA video.